is a strong word. I should say I'm disgusted by them. I don't know. Just be real. Be who you are. And help people if you truly have that in your body. It's the Oprah Winfrey philosophy. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll always have what you want. And I would love for someone to tell me about infinity return on your investment when it comes to marketing. Like, for example, let's just talk right now about email marketing. You and you're the king of email marketing, and I'm a close second. But the email marketing, how much does it cost to send out an email? Last
free,
time
technically. I mean, if we're talking real guerrilla marketing for everybody, I'll give the first real tip, which is I'm blown away at how little. There are two types of marketing that I think should be done. One is sly broadcasting, and the other is email marketing. And from an email marketing standpoint, you can get a MailChimp account, and that's MailChimp.com. I don't make any money from them. .com. They will let you have, I believe, 300 contacts and send out 4 emails in a month for free. You can't beat that. It might even be 500. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's 2,000 contacts, and you can send out 2,000 contacts 4 times over the course of a month. That's a steal. That's a steal by you can't beat reaching to that. You can't send that level of mail. You can't door knock that many doors. You can't physically, you can't wrap your brain around a number like 2,000 for free for sending out an email. But if you're talking an actual account, I get asked this question a lot, which is the best account? Anything above, okay, I'll give 2 numbers. Anything below 5,000, reasonably speaking, Constant Contact is the system that I use. And I actually use that for a few of my clients that I do follow-up for. And then anything above that, when you're talking my own personal database, I have an email list of 50,000 or so active real estate agents, plus or minus. I'm actually going to bump it up again another 100,000 here shortly. That's AWeber, and they give the best prices. Now you're talking in the $300 to $500 price range for sending out something that big. But again, how am I going to reach 50,000 realtors on a daily basis? I can't. I can't beat that number. I can't on a monthly basis from a price perspective. So from a guerrilla market, let's start from free, right? MailChimp is free. 2,000 contacts, 4 emails, 100% free.
And I'm on their website right now while you're talking, and I just Googled it real fast.
Cool.
MailChimp allows you to go up to 2,000 subscribers and up to 12,000 emails per month for free indefinitely.
That's a deal. That's the deal of the century. What they want to bait you into. Now, I'm going to give you some tips about MailChimp. They have a lower end delivery rate. When we're talking email, it's what actually gets into the mailbox, right? So MailChimp is on the lower end, but they do deliver. Use a text-only email if you're going to use MailChimp, and you'll get a higher delivery rate. Simple as that. Yeah. Next one up is Constant Contact. Now, their prices are a little, I'd say they're on the high side. But if you're staying under 5,000 contacts or so, you're in anywhere from a $50 to $150 price range, depending on the package you're getting. They're unlimited email sends, but what's most important about them is they have the highest inbox delivery rate of any service I've used, by far. And if you look at the bottom of emails you receive from whomever, you can see the email providers and what the different companies use. The one you will see most frequently, by far, is Constant Contact. And then the third is AWeber, and that's a very large, it's a larger platform for people who do larger bulk emails.
So, and iContact, there's a few others.
Yeah, there are. In fact, if you go to Google, I'll give you guys the tip of what I do each year. Go to google.com, right? And just open up their regular search page. Let me get it on my browser while we're talking. And type in top 10 bulk email service providers. It's the second one on the list. And right underneath everybody, it'll say the 7 best Marketing Services for Small Business. That one's updated August 25th of 2017. And there's always someone who's doing a complete breakdown. Number 1 is Constant Contact. Number 2 is AWeber. Number 3 is ConvertKit, who I've not heard of. See, that's why I look at these things. 4 is GetResponse. I've used them. They're a little complicated. Number 5 is MailChimp. Number 6 is Campaign Monitor, who I don't know. Might have to investigate. And 7 is ActiveCampaign. Because I look at these top 10 lists that come out constantly, I, for a period of time, was using a company out of England called Mad Mimi, and I really liked their server. I liked their prices. I liked their customer service. The problem was it wasn't good for bulk, right? So it's for what you get, for all of you who are listening, you're really not going to get beyond 2,000 or 3,000 clients in a database. You're just not. So you're at the Constant Contact level. There's a reason they're number 1. They are a little pricier. It's cheaper than a CRM by far, and it will bring you better results. But MailChimp, when you're first starting out, until you're comfortable sending emails, it's phenomenal.
So let's talk about, Lee. It's great that you can send out an email, but the problem is that people aren't sending out the right. Well, I do emails, but I never get any responses. I mean, I always hear that from people. Well, I hear you talk about your email, Fred, but I never get any responses when I send out my emails. And here's the bottom line. No one cares about your Betty Crocker cheesecake recipe.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Okay, you got to know what to send out. When you see Domino's Pizza advertising during the Super Bowl, are they advertising Betty Crocker's latest recipe, or do they have their 2-for-1 pizza special where you can get 2 toppings for 2 medium pizzas for $9.99?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I recently went into the business, and Fred knows this. I recently started doing follow-up and sequencing, because follow-up is the key to listings, right? And putting out new content is the secret to getting new listings. So I do this as a service for some of my students. They hire me to do this for them. And my big pitch when I'm showing people is I normally open up my email box and I'll save 2 or 3 emails. The one that makes me crazy is the St. Patrick's Day one that I get from a friend of mine who is a realtor who sends this, hey, happy St. Patrick's Day. Here's some facts about St. Patrick's Day. Okay, why does that inspire me to use you? Like, what does it do to tell me it's St. Patrick's Day? Or even worse, you go to the trouble, because all of these companies have really friendly newsletter creators, right? So you go to the trouble of creating news and you do all this stuff, but ultimately your email is leading them away from your message and onto somebody else's website.
So let's talk about, if you're a real estate agent, because that's who me and you market to, Lee.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're a real estate agent, what would you put in your monthly email in order for them to want to call you and do business with you? Well, you already know my little catches, my little hooks that I use.
Right.
I have, but and I'll talk about my hooks in a second. But the one thing that I can honestly tell you, with Zillow doing what they're doing to the real estate community, the one thing that I can tell you is that you need relationships now more than ever before.
Right.
Ever before. So if you protected the hell out of one of your clients, and I have stories, we all have stories of something terrible that happened to one of your buyers when they were buying a home. Here's what you do. You go to your buyer and you say, hello, remember me? Yeah. Hey, Fred, how's it going? I haven't heard from you. I always get your emails. Great. Well, I have a favor to ask you. And this is going to help out not only people like you, but it's going to help out everyone who's ever going to buy a home in the entire world. And here's what I am asking for you to do. Remember that, when we bought the house together and the gas furnace, the gas company shut off the gas furnace, and remember you rented the property back to the current seller, and you did a seller lease back for 30 days, which gave them time to go find another place to go move into. And remember, they were smokers, and remember there was a gas leak, and remember that when you light a Bic lighter in the middle of the living room, that the whole house could have exploded. Remember that? Can you tell in a 60-second video of what we did to protect you during that purchase, and how we made sure that you didn't have any lawsuits for any, I don't know, houses blowing up, so to speak, or if you had a meth lab, and all the crazy things that people do when they rent homes from you, and and how the heck did we protect you? Can you give me a 60-second video of that? And guess what we're going to do with that video? We're going to put it on Facebook. We're going to put it on LinkedIn. We're going to send it out to our email database, and then we're going to tell a story about exactly how we did. In the one situation that I'm referring to, the seller wouldn't let us in the house to do the home inspection, and we had rights in the purchase contract to be able to do that. Well, we exercised our 5-day, before the escrow closes in California, you have the right to inspect the property 5 days prior to the close of escrow if you're the buyer. We exercised that right, and we brought our home inspector with us, and that's how we eventually got into the house to do the home inspection. Even though they agreed to allow us to do a home inspection, they wouldn't let us in the house after we went into escrow. It was really frustrating. Well, we found out why. The gas company shut off the gas and blah, blah, blah. And then, so anyways, we were able to protect our client. And then we found out that the gas furnace, was leaking. And of course, the seller didn't want to pay for it. We found out they were in foreclosure. They didn't have any money, and they were going to get like $10,000 in their pocket after it was all said and done. Long story short, we had to protect our client. And I gave him some ideas. I said, let's let it go into foreclosure. I'll go buy the property from the trustee sale. Me personally, with my investors, I'll go buy the property, and then we'll kick them out. And then you won't have to lease it back to them at all. And then they're like, no, Fred, that's a little aggressive. And I said, come on, these guys are being jerks. Let's play hardball with them. And I'm a nice guy, but don't push the wrong button, and I will get tough with people. But the seller said, no, we don't want to get into a bidding war down at the trustee sale. We want to just buy it. And so they said, we'll pay the $1,500 to get the gas furnace replaced. And so but there was a story, and the story was how we protected them. The story was how we got the home inspector to go into the property to go inspect the property. The story was how we found out that if they were smoking in the living room, that the whole house could have blown up. And the story was that we needed to protect themselves in the seller leaseback, because now there are renters, and when they rent from you and the house blows up, they could have sued you because there was a gas leak in the gas furnace. So these are all things that come up during, transactions, and I write a story, and I tell the story, and I email that story along with the video testimonial of exactly how we protected that client. So now I'm telling you, one of these Zillow agents who's 2 years in the business, who has no clue about how to protect their clients because they're a newbie, and us, veteran real estate agents will walk all over them and, make them eat each and every last word if we have to, because those people deserve to get walked all over if they don't know how to protect their client, because your client is, you got to be like a bodyguard. You got to protect them like a famous movie star or an actor, because if you protect them, they're going to give you a referral. And that's how I get my referrals, by telling stories in my email blast that I do, and, offering specials. And we'll talk about some of those specials that I offer, but that is how I protect.
So we had a technical issue for all of you listening where we lost like 10 or 15 minutes for whatever weird random reason. So Fred was talking about specifically creating an email based on a story for his clients. That's one way of creating it. And my next leading question was the testimonial and how important the testimonial was. So why don't we pick it right up there, Fred, with your emails and backing it up with your testimonials?
Yeah, so what I do is I send out a story of one of my clients and how I protected them. I send out a video testimonial